Hi guys, how you doing? How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. It's June 20th and we're having thunderstorms. It's super cool. I love it. I like when it's been hot and then it, cools off and we get rain. It's pretty cool. So I had started a bunch of little golden books months ago, and these were sort of spurred by some happy mail that I got from a viewer slash customer slash friend, and she shared some little golden books with me, and so then I thought, I'm just gonna pull out all the ones I like, and I went through, I have a bunch already, but, she sort of added to my collection, and I haven't done little golden book journals for a long time. I did do some. I did a series last year, and, they're super fun. They're super fun to play with, but I just kind of get caught up in my, botanical, retro vintage type of style. And so every once in a while I like to just kind of bust out and do something totally different. Anyway, so I had started on these, a long time ago, and basically got the signature, or got the covers done. And my biggest thing about doing them was I didn't want to make them real thick. I just wanted them to be sort of still like a little golden book size, without, investing in such a huge spine. And anyway, so these have a 1-inch spine, and I don't know, I just had so much fun making them. And anyway, so okay, I'll quit blabbering. I wound up doing 25 covers. Out of the 25, I think I did 20. I wound up doing 23 journals. One of them I am gifting to my friend that had sent me some of her collection. So you'll be getting that, I would say, probably next week. So anyways, yeah, so I had the covers all basically done, and then my friend Karla Frizzelle, who's also on YouTube, and I talk about her frequently, she had gifted me some quilt top that she picked up in her travels, and it just inspired me to go ahead and finish these journals. So yeah, because I had the covers just kind of laying around for months and months and months. Anyway, so some of the quilt top that I used on the spines is quilt top that I got from Karla. So each one I actually, well, part of the dilemma is dealing with the spines on these guys. So what I wound up doing was, here, I have one that I didn't finish. Let me just show you. So a lot of times people struggle with these because when you get the book, you wind up with this funny part right here. And if you just expand that, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Maybe I should do a video on this, but I didn't want to have to fold these pages or cut these pages or anything. So I wanted to be able to use them just as they are in the book. So what I wound up doing was kind of expanding the length of the width of the spine a little bit, so that when I put these pages in, they would fit as they are in the book naturally, without having to fold them or alter the pages, because I did want to make sure that I used the full story in each journal. And don't ask me why I didn't do this one or this one. I can't remember. There was a reason, but I can't remember. So anyway, so that's one thing that's a little bit different about these, is that, the pages are all their actual size. I guess, okay, that's a lie. I did actually have to trim just a tiny bit off the edges just to make sure that they didn't stick out, because, you know, when you start putting other paper in there, it causes them to kind of, you know, extend just a little bit. So I did trim, you know, maybe 1/4 of an inch off of the edges at the most. But they're not folded or anything like that. And every one of these has the entire story in it. Some of them, most of them, I was able to keep it all in order. Some of them, just because of the way the books were made, I wasn't able to do that, because there would be like this one oddball page or something. And so if that's the case, then I just stuck the pages into one of the pockets. Anyway, so since I had so many that I was working on, I wanted to just keep them sort of simple. Didn't want to go crazy with embellishing and that kind of stuff. So basically what these are they're sort of like a glue book, I guess, or a naked journal. You know, and as I flip through, I'll kind of, you'll see what I'm talking about. But, yeah, but I did want the covers to be cute, and I put a lot of time and energy into, you know, choosing fabrics for the spines and buttons and that kind of stuff. So each one has a little charm on the spine that is attached through an eyelet with some ball chain, and then I took some of these real big Indian glass beads and just strung it onto the ball chain, and then each one's got a key and some other kind of charm. Okay, so, and then I did some buttons on the spine, 2 signatures, most of them 2 signatures, some have 3, just because of the way that the story was put together in the book originally. I had to split it into 3 signatures to keep the integrity there. There are a couple where it did get out of order a tiny bit, but it was like one's like the word one, where it doesn't really matter if the story is in order. So anyways, so let me flip through one of these and we'll talk about kind of some other stuff that I did. So this one is The Wizard of Oz, and I named them the title of the book in my shop. Oh, the closure. So I did this closure, which is pretty much like what I do on my little popcorn minis, and just did an elastic closure, so you can either close it up this way, or which I tried to set the eyelet back a little bit so that as your journal gets thicker, that won't have a tendency to slip off the end. Or you can do it this way, right? You can do it either way. I like it this way because of the buttons and stuff on the spine. I don't want those to get, you know, anyway, just for ease of use, I prefer to have it this way. So, yeah, and then the elastic it's stretchy enough that you've got plenty of room. I mean, your book could get pretty thick, and you know, this will still stretch. It's pretty stretchy. So, yeah, so the book is all intact. I used some pamphlets, like cooking pamphlets. Some of them are pamphlets from like an appliance, if you purchased an appliance. Oh, and the other thing is that I took apart 2 of my Flow Book for Paper Lovers books, and I used much of the paper from those in these journals. This is another vintage children's book that I used, oversized book, and I just made those pages into pockets. So, and see, this is what I'm talking about. These are kind of naked. So, like, you know, I left these open because I thought if you want to use this as an art journal or something, you could easily just cut this down right there, and flip that down and, you know, use it as a page instead of a pocket. So, or if you want to use it as a pocket, just stick a paper clip right there or staple it, you know. Some graph paper. Oh, this is construction paper. This is like kids construction paper. It's a little bit better quality than a lot of the construction paper that you see. Some graph paper. This is some really nice stationery from some business here oh, I guess that's in Portland. Some vintage wrapping paper, and then the story, some handwriting paper, wallpaper. This is a page from a different kid's book. Some greeting cards, some ledger paper. Yeah, so that's the first signature. So each journal is going to have basically the same elements, okay? And you guys know this, you know the drill on that. These are some deposit slips from a bank, big deposit slips. This is flow book paper. This is actually paper from like a old school printer, computer paper. Some scrapbook paper here and there. And so then you've got a gap between the two signatures for expansion. This is from just an old notebook. I love that paper. And then I did a popcorn bag in each one. And you'll notice that these are all empty. Pockets are all empty. This is a pocket. This is from my architectural graphic standards book that I love because I love the paper. I did stitch these pockets. Flow paper. Just, you know, I save paper. I save all kinds of paper and, you know, try to use it up. So this is from the flow book. Some purple filler paper. This is a page from one of those like how to draw flowers or how to paint flowers books. And more flow paper. So yeah, so just fun, really colorful, usable paper. It's all pretty sturdy and somewhat random, you know. Doesn't really have a theme necessarily. I was just using paper that I liked. And I did cut the bottoms off of the popcorn bags. So yeah, so there we go. So that's basically, you know, the contents of each journal. So some of them I actually filled the pockets and stuff. Let me show you one that's not sold. There's one of these that's sold already. Because I do have these listed already. So this one I actually filled, I put all of the you know, tags and all that stuff in the journal already. So I did, so if I didn't stuff the journal, then all of the stuff that I would have put in the journal, I put it into another popcorn bag and you can just put it all in yourself. So you know, all of the extras, okay, all the tags and stuff, and I'll go through this so you can see. And I also added a bag of like paper clips so you could, you know, have some way to attach that stuff. So anyways, yeah, so this one actually has the stuff already stuffed into it. So what I'll do is I'll add another popcorn bag to these because I decided to do that after I had kind of stuffed a couple of them already. And maybe it's because I ran out of steam, I don't know, but I think it's fun to, and I kind of got this inspiration from Karla. She doesn't always add all of her tags into her journal. She usually gives you some kind of little bag on the side whenever you buy a journal with extras and stuff. So I kind of like that because I think it's cool for you to be able to put your stuff into your journal wherever you want it, you know. So yeah, so this one has the stuff already in the pockets and stuff. So you get the idea. Okay, so this one won't have an extra bag along with a bag of goodies because it has all the goodies in it, but I will add that extra popcorn bag. Okay, so each one is going to have 2 popcorn bags basically. So anyway, so this is Pussy Willow. You just saw the Wizard of Oz, and then we've got cars and trucks. So yeah, I'll just kind of show them to you real quickly. This is one of my favorites, I Can Fly. This is such a pretty book. And there's the spine. I used some buttons that I tried to kind of coordinate them. Some of them I just used 2 oversized buttons on the spines. The fuzzy duckling. Oh, I accidentally called this the ugly duckling in the listing. I have to change that. So this is A Day on the Farm. This is some quilt top that I already had. This is like a baby blanket and another little baby blanket. So I did a little bit of like collaging with fabric. This is a quilt top on the spine. There's the buttons, the little charms. This is just words. And then there's actually 2 Pussy Willow. One of them is stuffed already. The other one is not. And I think it says, one of them says Pussy Willow 2, and then in parentheses it says stuffed in the listing. So there's this one. And then Toodle. Toodle is not stuffed. So to ensure that the fabric on the spines never comes up, I actually stitched it on my sewing machine. And you can see the stitching on the inside also. So that just makes them a little bit more sturdy, I think. I didn't want to just rely on glue to hold that fabric on. And that was part of the reason that I didn't get these done, because I was kind of going around and around about what to do about that. So,
I'm leaving.
hold on one second, guys. Okay, bye, Sammy.
I'm going to Dom's.
Oh, okay, I love you.
Love you too.
Have fun. So the Tawny Scrawny Lion. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the oldest little golden books that I had. And this actually came from, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, it came from Libby. This is an old golden book. And I'm telling you, I had a hard time tearing this one up. But it was in such good condition. I mean, like pristine. And it's crazy because this is one of the oldest ones. This is one of the ones that I had to split into 3 signatures. So it's a little bit fatter just because it had so many pages inside. And the way it was constructed in 3 signatures originally, I had to do that. So anyways, I'm sure you guys don't care if it's 3 or 2, but yeah, and then I just used some old quilt top on it. Isn't that pretty? I love that one. I love all of them, to be honest. And then Gaston and Josephine, again with quilt top and then 2 buttons on the sides. So these are all really sturdy. Colors are nice. I think this one actually sold already. I had a nice lady buy 3 of these this morning, so I can't remember, but I think this is one of the ones that she purchased. They keep going. There's more. Rabbit's Adventure. There's the charms. So stacking them up. And then the little golden ABC. This just has some vintage fabric on the spine and then buttons. I had fun doing these, you guys. I really did. Just, you know, not stressing about finishing them in a hurry or anything. And I think it's because I had already done so much work on them already that basically I was just building the signatures and then doing some embellishing. So the Taxi That Hurried. I have journals falling over. The Little Red Hen. So I tried to coordinate the fabric on the spines, obviously, with the cover as much as I could, just to kind of, you know, keep it all in line. You know, this one has a bee, big bee charm on it. And then I'm going to show you what's in those extra bags too, the tag bags. There's the charm, another one of those big bees. When You Were a Baby. And whoops. Sometimes these keys get caught on things. The Tortoise and the Hare. So you can see there's a big chunky bead on there. It's a glass bead. Tortoise and the Hare. And this I did some collaging with fabric, so it's not a quilt top. The same with this one. This little piggy. This is another one that is one of those super old ones that I got from Libby. And it was just in amazing condition. But this one I did a little bit different charm. I was going to do these on all of them, but I just honestly, you guys, I wanted to try to keep the cost down a little bit, and making these is very time consuming. So I'm actually thinking about making some charms like this just to add into my shop with a clasp, you know, so you could just hook them on whatever. Haven't done that kind of thing for a long time, so but yeah, so this one was also in just fabulous condition. Look at this, the inside. Yeah, thank you, Libby, you're so sweet. So then these two are actually stuffed. So Bambi has all of the, you know, tags and stuff already kind of clipped in or stuck into the pockets and that kind of thing. So see, I mean, it's really not a big deal, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of clipped it all in. I got this book. It came with a set of encyclopedias, and it had all of these, like, it had this, like, activity book that came with the set, and it was such a cool book, but the paper was super thin, so, but I wanted to use some of this stuff, because it's so cool and schoolhousey, you know? So I wound up just gluing a bunch of pages onto some craft paper, and then just cut them out, just to give them a little bit more integrity. So, yeah, see, I just paper clipped the pocket shut on these. So these would be great glue books, great little, like, naked journals, you know? So that's Bambi, and then this is Lucky Rabbit. This is not a little golden book. It's a Ding Dong school book. It's a Rand McNally book, but this one sold this morning. Kind of had a feeling that was going to happen with this one. But yeah, it's such a cute little book. Anyway, so with flashcards and things like that. So let me show you what is in these bags of goodies. Just so you kind of know what you're going to get. All right, let me move this mountain of journals. Just kind of get these out of the way. I was actually going to like call this my monthly mini for June, but I already have another idea for that. I was also going to do little popcorn bag minis, but I have something else I think I'm going to do for my minis for June. So I'll be working on those next, hopefully. Okay. So you're going to get a little tag from the Flow book, okay? A little mini flashcard, some little mini index cards. I think there's like 3 or 4. Some Monopoly money. This is the bag of paper clips. I added a few rusty ones in there, and then one of those little clips like that with a little star or a heart or something. And then some Rolodex cards. These are the original cards. And then I'm making these, and I think I'm going to be adding these to my shop. Rolodex cards in different shapes and sizes that I'll be cutting out for you. I think I'm going to do that as a made-to-order listing, maybe. A couple of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang cards, some bingo cards, a little, like, catalog card box, you know, divider. These are just some shipping labels. Some repair tags. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Some alteration tags. Some layaway tags. Those I do have in my shop, the layaway tags and the alteration tags. These are from the Flow book. Just little note papers. Another Flow book. Little card. Some flashcards. I added a few of these little cards. These are from that you know, it's a gardening book where you just like flip the pages and match up the colors and stuff. And then a bunch of guest checks. So some of these like thinner ones that you could glue onto a heavier card. That looks really nice. And then some of the like heavier ones. These are almost like, you know, they're just like thicker paper. These are some bridge score sheets. Couple pages or pieces of pages from that book that I described earlier from the encyclopedias. So you'll see this paper is pretty thin, but I wanted to give you some of that. This is just wallpaper. I did a currency envelope in each one, and then some of the little like pieces that I had glued onto paper. This is ledger paper I glued it onto. So yeah, and I just cut those out already. Okay, so that's basically what you get in your bag, in your popcorn bag. Okay. Yeah, so each one of those will have a popcorn bag. Okay. So when you get it, it'll be like that. Okay. And I went ahead and did free shipping on these in the US. So yeah, so that's cool. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, and then I had a couple other things that are in my shop that I just wanted to mention real quick. So I did these kits. These are the paperclip charm kits. So I just kind of wanted to remind you guys about them because they've just been sitting there and I've reduced the price on them. So I wanted to throw it out there again. Whoops. So you get a bag of my junk journal salad with some flour sack fabric in there. Some, these are scraps of sari silk, a bag of buttons, a bunch of baker's twine, a few dozen bulb pins, a little bag of charms, some rusted paper clips, and then a bag of papers that are vintage papers that I like to use to wrap around the paper clips. So yeah, quite a little bundle for the price. If you look in my shop, you'll see these in there. And you know, it's like if you just go to my shop, sometimes you have to dig a little because things get put into categories or sections in there. And, you know, people have a tendency, we as shoppers have a tendency to just kind of look at the top, instead of looking at all items. And so there's actually 13 of these kits still in my shop. And these are also free shipping, just so you know. And then I also have some minis that are left over from last month. So I've got some of those special minis that I did. I did a second series of minis, and these are the ones that are made with the policy envelopes. So they've got the little like string closure on them, the avocado dyed envelopes, you know, and just lots of little goodies in them, some handmade tags and things like that. So there's a few of these still in my shop. I just wanted to just point them out, you know. I mean, never hurts to remind you guys about stuff. And then each one does have a paperclip charm that is just attached. You know, you could take it off with the little clip. So it's got this little like tassel with some sari silk and vintage buttons and that kind of stuff. So there's about 5 of these left. And I mean, of course I made like 24 of them, so it doesn't surprise me. But I just wanted to mention that these are there. Okay. So there's a few of my special minis from last month. And then I have one oddball. I think these were from April, maybe. For some reason, this little guy is still there. Usually these, they usually sell pretty quick. So this is one of the trifold ones. Yeah, made out of a file folder. So this one is still available also. And what else? I think that's it. So yeah, so it's funny, you know, there's just one of these guys sitting there, and I think it's really pretty, you know. Anyway, it's just weird. Yeah, and then 5 of those special minis from last month's series. Okay. So, I wanted to just really quickly talk about inspiration. And, there's 2 people that inspired me on these journals. First of all, Karla Frizzelle is absolutely, I don't know what I would do without her, you guys. She is so supportive, mentally to me, that I just really wanted to give her a shout out and just let you know that she really is a special person to me. Um, and I love her style. She does little golden books that knock your socks off. Okay. And, so also I wanted to say that if you're looking for a little golden book journal and you'd like something a little bit more substantial, something a little larger, um, go check out her shop. She's got a couple of them in there, and they're just amazing. She does really, really cool work, and definitely the price is right on them too. So, so go check out Karla Frizzelle's shop. I'll link her Etsy shop in the description. So thank you, Karla, for all your inspiration and all your support since I started this YouTube channel. Really, yeah, I appreciate you very much. And also Gina at the Rebookery. She is really the one that has inspired me to produce lots of journals at one time. And, you know, not that Gina necessarily needs a shout out, but I did want to give it to her because when I'm in a funk and I don't, you know, like I'm like between projects or something like that, she's one of those people that I'll go and watch her old videos and stuff just to see how she uses up stuff, you know, because Lord knows I have a lot of stuff. So if you don't already subscribe to the Rebookery, go check out her channel and see what she does, because you know, she doesn't use a lot of like old vintage stuff, but she does use a lot of the stuff that we see in thrift stores and that kind of stuff. She is using that stuff, and it's so cool. Those books, all those craft books, and she does those, you know, her homebody journals and just some of her stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's just super inspiring. And she doesn't, you know, do a lot of embellishing and that kind of thing. She's really into making art journals, I think, is what I would say. Her journals, they're junk journals, but they're kind of geared towards an art journal sort of style. So, anyways, thank you, Gina, for your inspiration, because you really have given that to me, and I love your channel and I love your work. So anyways, all right. So, I'm going to get this published. These are already listed in my shop, and the other stuff that I talked about. And thank you for your purchase already this morning. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for talking to a lady about 3 journals this morning. And it was like really nice to wake up to. So anyways, yeah, I love you guys. And thank you guys for your inspiration and all your comments and all your love and support. And I couldn't be here without you guys. I couldn't do this without you. So, yeah. Anyway, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified when I publish a new video. And that's important, you know, if you're subscribing to somebody, hit that bell so that you do get a notification. Also, oh, one more thing real quickly. On Etsy, you know, Etsy is sort of a social media thing too, and a lot of people might not realize that, but when you go to somebody's shop, if you like their work, even if they don't have anything for sale right now, that, you know, like say, you know, somebody that makes journals, you know, you missed it, like you missed out on their journals or something. Like I put some out like a couple weeks ago, and I had a number of messages from people saying, I didn't even know that you listed anything, you know, and so maybe they don't watch YouTube or whatever. If you favorite somebody's shop on Etsy, you will get a notification when that seller lists new items or when they renew items, because sometimes when we have things in our shop that are old or have been there for a long time, we can renew that listing, and what it does is it kicks it back up to the top of the shop. So you'll get notifications on that too. So you might see stuff that they've had in their shop for a while that's not up at the top, and it'll just kind of be like a reminder, like, hey, this little guy's still there, you know, that kind of thing. Anyways, favorite my shop, favorite Karla's shop, favorite Gina's shop, favorite anybody's shop that you like their work, because then you'll get notifications when they list new items. So like me, like today, I listed all of these journals way before I ever published the video. So you know what I'm saying? And so that's how the lady that bought the journals this morning, that's how she was able to know, because she favored in my shop. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I tried not to say 10,000 times. Let me know how I did. Okay, I love you guys. Bye for now.